Ciao ragazzi, I thought I would skip the intro today because, to be honest, I don't have an extra 25 seconds to wait to introduce my panel and my amazing guests. A huge shout out, and I'm going to start with introducing them first. I'm just going to point to a direction. That is to my right, your left. That's Michael from Melbourne. Michael, my man, thank you so much for joining us on Interworldwide. Yes, of course, that's not exactly the favorite jersey that we'd like to see here on the channel, but tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and just tell us a little bit about how you became obviously a cultural fanatic quickly.
Well, first I'd like to thank Anthony for this opportunity. It's not often you have a Juventino and Interisti together talking about, culture. They're usually at each other's necks, but it's great that we can have this discussion. A bit about myself. I'm from Melbourne. I'm 20 years of age. Quite young. Been a supporter since I was 8 years old when they came and played here in Melbourne. Before then, I didn't really support a club at that time. Later on, I came to realise my relatives live in Torino. They're very much big into Juventus, and I knew that was the club for me, and I've supported them ever since. I'm part of the Juventus Club Melbourne, it's named after Gianluigi Buffon, and we watch every game every week down in South Yarra, which is a suburb in Melbourne. And I love the club. I'm very, very passionate. I love not just only the club, but I love also what the fans and what they produce off the ground and on the ground, and what they bring to the game, as well as my own club and the players and presidents and everything. Everything about Juventus, I'm madly obsessed with. So yeah, thank you for bringing me on the panel, Anthony.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Gentlemen, we have Riccardo as well, all the way from Sicily. He and my guest Michael are representing the Italian football fans unfiltered group on Facebook, which we love so much. It can get like a bit of a bloodbath in there. So I did want to give a quick plug and thank to Anthony Seminara, who's a good friend to all of us pretty much, and who starts running and is always on top of that page. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to him in case he does tune into this. Riccardo from Sicily, thank you, my brother, for joining me. What a pleasure it is to have a paisano from Sicilia. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started supporting Juventus. Talk to us, my friend.
Okay, Anthony, first of all, thank you to have me on the channel. I'm not going to say my age like Michael did, but I can tell you I'm supporting Juventus till 1978. So you do the sums. And also, I want to congratulate you, Inter, for winning the Scudetto this year. It's well deserved. Nothing else we can really say about it. You won it. That's it. We lost it, and well done to you guys. I've been, of course, I'm Sicilian, but I live in Australia since 1996. And I'm in the restaurant world. And last 3 years, I decided to do something in Sicily. I'm actually the founder of the Juventus Club Doc Melbourne, Gigi Buffon, that Michael was talking about. Other guys started. We used to watch a doc in Carlton. Yeah. So I'm the one put the first one on the club, and I'm really happy.
I didn't even know that when I teed this up. That's bullshit. Yeah. I did not even know that. And there's a link right there. Far out. Yeah. Well done, so regardless of what team it is.
I'm the founder of the club, and I'm really happy the club is still running. I think my friend Michele Cecchirillo that started with me is still on it. I say big hello to all the boys down in Melbourne, and keep going like that. And nothing. I've been supporting Juventus for a long time. I saw all the Champions League's final lost. I was in Cardiff in the last one, and I don't want to talk about that. And nothing, man. I saw a couple of wins of the Super Cup. We went with the club in Shanghai to watch the Super Coppa. I was also in Beijing with the Napoli supporter, watching the one there. And that's it. This year it's been a strange year with the COVID, but football is not in a really good place for everyone.
No, it's not. That goes for every country on an international and domestic level. Football is not in a good place at all. So that's something we can definitely all agree on. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in to the final word. If you are watching, we've got 5 people live on the video right now. We'll go straight to our first comment. Looking forward to this video, guys. Nice to hear from other fans on the channel. I've been into this since 1997. Beautiful, Harry Den. Thanks for the comment. I'm tripping out at that whole Melbourne connection without even knowing when I put these two guests together. That's absolutely nuts.
Because Michael mentioned it, so
that's so cool.
still, it's really nice standing in a foreign country in Melbourne. You know, we started in the year that we reached the Champions League final with Barcelona. We started at the beginning of the year in September. We had a nice run, all the games. I got videos and things I can link you after. And yeah, it was I got the show, the final. There was a show on with Santo Cilauro did a show on us. I got all the link. I will send it to Anthony after, or to you, Michael. No problem. And yeah, I didn't know Michael was part of it, so he mentioned it, and I mentioned it.
I was part of them. I joined in 2017 because I'm fairly young.
I was already out. By then I was out.
Yeah. But I did hear a lot about you. Like, the boys still speak about you very highly, and they appreciate all that you've done for us.
No, man. I'm still attached. I'm still attached to the club. When I'm back in Melbourne, I definitely will attend the games. Definitely attend the games.
I'm putting a face to a name now because Ricardo, the name, everyone like Ricardo did this, Ricardo did that for us back in the day, and now finally get to meet you. It's a pleasure. But yeah, the club's still running. We're running at Miguel's restaurant now.
Yeah. And I follow you guys. Was funny, if I can say a joke, when Juventus come in 2014 to Sydney, remember? Of course. I had a connection with Lustica, so I went to the hotel and stuff. And when there was the dinner before the game, was Del Piero there, Loriente, Pirlo, and when they went up to the stand, all the supporter went up to the stand. You know what I did? I went to Andrea Agnelli and I took a selfie. I said, Andrea, everyone's going to the players, but you, Juventus, can we take a selfie? I did a selfie with you.
From the stories I've heard with the fans and Agnelli, years after that, I don't think there'll be any more photos with Agnelli anymore.
I even got the Gigi Buffon shirt signed to the club. I still got it. In Shanghai. He signed it in Shanghai for us. He come downstairs after the game just to sign the shirt. Top guy, Gigi.
Of course.
I chose the name. I chose Gigi Buffon Club. I can tell you that.
Yeah. What a better name to choose. He's a legend for us. And look, I'm a bit upset when he went to PSG. I'll have to be honest. I was a bit upset. But at the same time, when you're a quality player like him, everyone wants to take every chance to win the Champions League. So he had his opportunity and, decided to come back where he belongs. And, just like he announced not long ago, he wants to retire. I hope all the best for the future. And hopefully, if he ever chooses the coach, he does better than Pirlo.
Well, let's get Anthony talk about Inter. Come on, man. It's like you're sure.
I was going to say,
let's get the Inter going.
On too much of your talk, but
correct.
That was
let's
an amazing.
Get the Inter going. Come on, I want to hear the Inter.
But yeah, thank you. That was an amazing connection, and yeah, honestly, I can't wait for people to watch that back. And that was awesome. That makes me feel really good to have that little connection that you guys just had right there. So, match day 37. Let's jump right into it. We're going to start from the fixtures I always start with the fixtures that don't mean too much, and then we dive into the more serious ones a little bit later. So I'm going to start with Udinese and Sampdoria, 0-1. Fabio Quagliarella converts a penalty on 88 minutes. There's no point talking about the match because there was nothing to play for, but overall, I'll just get maybe even 20 or 30 seconds from you each. What do you make of both Udinese and Sampdoria's season, and how do you see them kicking on to next season? I'll start with you, Riccardo.
I think Udinese, Sampdoria did the job. Probably Udinese got the hardest job with a weaker team. He did all right at the end. Sampdoria with the Ranieri is bulletproof. That they did what they need to do. They don't think it to go in Europe. They just wanna. I think Ranieri.
Yeah, you just cut out, man. Audio-wise, we can't hear. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, man.
All good. You're better.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Sampdoria Udinese did what they should do. Should done it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know what, Michael, I'm not even going to do that fixture with you. What we're going to talk about is Verona and Bologna instead. Another dead fixture with both teams surviving right in that nice meaty curve just outside of the European spots. For me personally, Juric has done a pretty good job at Verona this season. I've liked the way they started the season. They're probably the first one out of those mid-table teams to assure us that they would be safe next season just by getting the better results in the first half of the match days. But overall, what did you make of both of them this season? And yeah, happy to see them next season, obviously.
Look, I'll be honest with you. Hellas Verona, you can't really see them growing much as a team. I personally reckon they'll just always be a mid-table to lower bottom three Juventus team. This year they did better than expected. Full credit to them. They've created some great upsets against us. Yeah, I really, really appreciate like the way they've, been realistic with themselves and how they've gone forward and they've signed some quality players. And unfortunately, they've lost a few on the way, but hopefully in the coming season they can build on that and start signing a bit more players and generating more money for the club.
Yeah, 100%. Moving on to a little bit more interesting fixture. Parma 1, Sassuolo 3, goals for Locatelli, De Frel and Boga, and Bruno Alves scores for Parma. Parma probably the most disappointing bunch of the season, obviously. I mean, they're dead last now, so there's no point in saying they might be the most disappointing team of the season. They are the shittest team of the season, and it's really sad to see. Ricardo, I'd love your perspective on Parma's fall from grace this season.
Okay, one of my business partners here in Italy lives in Parma. I sponsor the Parma Soccer Club. I can tell you that people bought a Parma. They're really willing to start do kind of what Juventus did with the area, stadium, business center, but this year didn't work out. Serie A is no easy tournament just to go in with no experience. But if I can say something, this is one of the reasons Serie A should go to 18 teams, to shorten the league and to make it a bit stronger. That's my own opinion. I don't know if you guys agree.
No, I would definitely agree. I'm always for lesser amount of teams, man. 20 is way too many teams for a domestic league. It just creates way too many fixtures for the season. If you can take it down to 18 fixtures, I think you go down to 34 games instead of 38. That's a big difference on its own. That might potentially open up 4 extra weekends for the season. It's honestly ridiculous that they don't open up to that idea. So I would agree. Michael, your thoughts on Parma? It's a very sad sight seeing a club of their stature get relegated.
Look, they've really struggled to, get back to where they ever were when they were such a great team with the quality players like Crespo, Cannavaro, Thuram. They had so many great players, but the fact that they've, never been able to, recover from that bankruptcy, it's really affected them. I think personally, Sassuolo, you know how good they are. They just showed you, that they didn't play a great game, I'll be honest with you. They probably played better when they even, lost to us. But, I personally reckon Parma, they're really struggling at the moment. They probably need to invest in some, better players and probably bring on a better president. And I actually agree with Ricardo. 18 teams for Serie A would make it a lot more competitive. And, these bottom 3 teams, a lot of them in the Serie B would struggle with the current forms that Salernitana and Empoli have been in recently. So I reckon we need more competition in the Serie B and more competition in the Serie A, and having less teams in both competitions will create that.
Yeah, 100%. I look forward to speaking with you guys about that another time as well. All right, let's move on to the next games. This is where it starts getting a little bit more interesting on this particular match day. Rome, the Rome derby, the eternal derby. Roma 2, Lazio 0. That was a weird one. I thought Lazio would pull it out of their ass, considering they got really, really lucky to win against, I think it was Parma, wasn't it? Was it Parma where they scored their 96-minute goal? Yeah. So, Ricardo, Lazio lose. They're the first team out of, basically any of the teams besides Roma to officially and mathematically be eliminated from the Champions League on this match day, and a red card as well to put the icing on the top to Acerbi right at the end. Overall, man, I'm a little disappointed with Inzaghi and Lazio this season, as I am with Roma. I think the city of Rome definitely failed this season, bro. What do you think, Ricardo?
Again, new owners for Roma, the Fredriksen. I think they're willing to spend good money, and the Mourinho move was clear. And I think Fonseca is a bad coach, but Roma is not an easy city to coaching. You know what I mean? The supporters are really full on. Of course, I think that Fonseca until the end let the team play, but Lazio, I think the fact that Inzaghi didn't sign the new contract, I think something is going on there. In the last, you can see the last 2-3 weeks they really dropped the form, and I'm hoping tonight they're gonna beat Torino. because honestly, I hope Torino goes in Serie B. Deserve to go in Serie B after losing 7-0 with Milan. So you don't deserve to be in Serie A if you lose 7-0 at home. So that's my.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
My own opinion. Then everyone can say I'm wrong, but if you lose 7-0, you don't deserve to be in Serie A. That's my say.
Fair enough.
And both teams
Yeah.
disappointed, but Roma, I think, if I can say Roma 30 seconds, I think the move of Mourinho is good for the Italian soccer, definitely for the Serie A. And he's got good personality. I don't know if he's a top coach still, but he would do well in Roma.
Yeah,
I think he will. Especially, he'll be happy that they finished 7th. He doesn't want to take over from a team that just had a good season. He wants to take over from an absolute dumpster and make it, shine it up and look like polished trash instead of just trash instead. Roma and Lazio, Michael, your quick take on their seasons are quite disappointing. I'm sure both sets of their fans will agree.
Look, I actually enjoy watching Lazio play. They play a really good brand, but defensively, I just don't think they're strong enough. I think Acerbi has been a big disappointment this year. I'm surprised he actually got picked for the Italian team over Romagnoli. It's been a bit of a disappointment.
I'm not surprised at that at all, to be honest. But go on. Yeah, I don't rate Romagnoli.
No,
I don't rate Acerbi at all. This year, he's been not to the best that he's possibly been in previous years. I think Lazio rely on Immobile a bit too much. Immobile, he hasn't had the 30+ goal season like he did last season, and it's affected them a bit this year. And you can sort of tell that they're still trying to rely on him, and he's getting older. He's not getting any younger. It's good that Correa has these moments where he takes the game on himself, and Luis Umberto, and they really push. But I think Milinkovic-Savic won't be there in a couple of years. I reckon you either come, in my personal opinion, to come to Juventus, or you'll go to another club, maybe Real Madrid or elsewhere. So they're really, really going to have to dig deep. Inzaghi, for me, I really like Inzaghi as a coach. Tactically, he gets a lot of things right. As for Roma, it was always going to be tough having one of their most influential players injured for the majority of the season. Zaniolo is a big loss for them, and everyone can agree with that. I still think they've not really recovered from when Totti's left. I think they don't have a definitive striker anymore. Like Dzeko, he's finished. I think he's finished. I don't think he'll ever be back to where he is. It happens with age. I think he might even end up at MLS or elsewhere. I don't see him, being a player that will continue to win games for Roma.
Yeah, but Michael, the Serie A. Sorry, guys, the Serie A is a league for 35, 36, 37, 38 years old guys. Sorry.
Watch, bro. Michael, I'm telling you, he's going to get a transfer to a big team. He's probably coming to Inter or something. Honestly, bro, this guy's got another contract left in him, for sure, as a bench striker. He'll take a small pay cut and he'll go to another club.
I know Juventus is a league for 30+ year olds, and they do very well. Like at Juventus, there's been plenty of players that have done well after that age. But in my opinion, for Roma, I think that's the most he can do for that club. I think it's time for him to have a bit more fresh blood in him, and I think that might come playing for another club. I don't know if it's for a Serie A club, but maybe for another club elsewhere as well, because I think he was very close to leaving Roma. He was very close to coming to Juve or even going to Inter at one stage. And the fact that it never happened, it's mentally for him, I think it's been a struggle for him to get over. And yeah, that's why he hasn't had the same season he's had this year as he had last year, where he was actually a lot more prolific player.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's move to a couple of other fixtures. Spezia 4, Torino 1. Just very quickly, happy that Spezia survived the drop. They've played the most attractive football of any of the 3 teams that have qualified. They've maintained their footballing identity from the first match day of the season. They have made it tough for every one of the big 6 that have come to play them. They have taken ridiculous amounts of points from those teams as well. Obviously, it's not a lot to look at, but when you consider that they actually have the poorest looking squad in terms of names, stature, wage, everything before this season, Spezia were the shoe-in to finish 19th/20th. Big up to them for surviving the drop, Riccardo?
I agree. Italiano, best new coach this year. 100%.
Definitely.
Best new coach. Definitely. And I hope for him for different club next year. They're saying maybe Napoli or Fiorentina.
He could put, in my opinion, I think he could potentially go to Sassuolo because I think De Zerbi is going to go and coach Shakhtar Donetsk, which I think is a fantastic move for De Zerbi. This is a good move for him. He plays very expensive attacking football, and Shakhtar Donetsk plays a Joga Bonito Brazilian style of football. And I really think that this is a good stepping stone for De Zerbi. What do you think about that, Ricardo?
I hope he goes for free. Because De Zerbi say is the saga is for the fans, so I think it's going for free, isn't it? Sorry, I have to say that, man. I have to say that. No, taking the jokes away, it's definitely a good move for De Zerbi. Shakhtar, it's top team. They got money to spend, and he can prove himself outside either. I'm Italian. I like you guys, and always sad to see a good Italian coach leave Italy because we're trying to put our leagues on top. And the moving out of the Italy is not a good sign. And going back,
maybe that's the way. Maybe that's the way to keep putting our league on top, though. Sometimes it looks good when an Italian coach goes and wins overseas.
Yeah, but you look. Yes and no. Yes, I agree with that too. But I was saying back to Michael, that's unfortunately we got a 41 years old player in Serie A still. That's 20 years ago. That wasn't possible, guys. So they're big names, but that makes the league weaker. 34, 35 is okay, but when you go 36, 37, 38, 39, come on, guys. 30 years ago, 39, you pensionato at the beach smoking cigars, not playing soccer.
Yeah, vero. Atalanta 4, Genoa 3. Atalanta still there. UCL spot. They will most likely finish second at the end of the season. Gasparini gets it done with a mid-season crisis as well, and Papu Gomez leaving. That's what impressed me the most. When teams get a crisis in the middle of the year, they can fold and they can drop points like no tomorrow. Atalanta stayed very consistent. There was even a little bit of a mid-season issue with Josip Ilicic as well, and he came back to form. Duvan Zapata is a great player. Luis Muriel, oh my goodness, if there's one player I want to replace Romelu Lukaku to give him some rest, it's Luis Muriel. This Atalanta team has showed again that they're stacked. Ricardo, I'll go to you first. What do you think of them this season, and what do you think they can do next season? You think they'll be around there again?
Yes, definitely they will be around. They got Sunday game. If they win, it's right already on the group. It's historical second place for them. Best result in the history. I like last year, the third position was the best historical position for Atalanta. So I don't think Gasperini is going to drop that. Also, guys, comes up to money. How if you finish second in Serie A, you get 19 million plus 7.5 for Champions Leagues. That's 26 million. If Atalanta lose, becomes fourth. That's 14 million plus 2.5. So there's a 10 million euro for that game. And for a team like Atalanta, they're crucial. I gotta say, it's a Juventus support. I don't think Juventus deserve to go to Champions League this year. I say that honestly. You know what I mean? I say here, I put my face on it. But I think Milan is gonna struggle to do a result in Bergamo. But again, then I don't know if you will win in Bologna. So, but definitely Atalanta will be there. Smart Gasperini, the president is smart guys. The team is well constructed. It's got strong players, not big names, but everyone run for the ball. And now Anthony say, I agree. After the Papa Gomez, went to Sevilla, there could be a big drop, but they keep going stronger and stronger and stronger. And probably they got a chance to win the Italian Cup tomorrow.
Wow, fair enough. Michael, how much time do you have left with us tonight, by the way? Just I'm conscious of time. I'm looking at it now.
I've got about another 7 minutes.
All right, beautiful. Let's go. All right, beautiful. Yeah. Let's jump ahead and let's go straight to the derby right now. For me, man,
it's 20 to 10 in the morning. I'm gonna go to the beach, so I've got time.
Beautiful. Yeah, let's go straight to the derby, and then I'll keep Ricardo on a little bit longer. 3-2 penalty saved by Handanovic, put into the net by Ronaldo. Lukaku equalizes from the spot as well. Cuadrado with a gut punch 3 seconds before halftime. That's when I knew the result could go south. When you guys went up 1-0, I was just like this. I'm like, 1-0, fuck, we'll still win this game, bro. Don't worry. When they scored the goal before halftime, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's it. That's the gut punch right there. Chiellini goes down as an own goal with Lukaku getting one of the taps towards the end there. Also, we've got a Bentancur red card on Minuto 55 and Brozovic in 92. And that's all she wrote with Cuadrado's penalty in the 88th minute. I've done my match reaction, so I need to hear it from the boys. That's the whole reason I brought you guys on tonight. Michael, the floor is yours, bro. Dare to be first, and your honest assessment of the current state of Juventus, because it's really hard to get an honest answer out of you guys, man. That's why I got you two on.
So I'll be very honest. I'll be very honest indeed. I have got a lot of criticism on the Juventus pages for being a bit too honest, so don't worry about that. As for the match, I think it was do or die for us. I thought it was pretty much the biggest game of the year for us. I think you could just see that we didn't play brilliantly. This has been the problem with Juventus for probably 2 years now. We're struggling to score goals because we attack too slowly. And what the issue is with Juventus is it takes a bit of individual brilliance for us to score a goal, like it did with Cuadrado. Goals like that don't happen every week. It took him to take Juventus all the way, pretty much. In my opinion, there's been a lot of controversy about the penalties. In my opinion, all 3 penalties. There's no questions about it. I know the last penalty with Cuadrado getting the winning penalty. They said, he got studs up on on his leg and whatever. But in my opinion, Perisic, didn't even get the ball. You can see frame by frame him, completely not even looking at the ball at one stage. For me, that's a penalty. Into you guys didn't play too bad, I thought. I think you guys are just coming off the barbecues and, the hangovers from winning the league. And so should you. You guys, you deserve it. You were the best team by far. The most consistent team. Full credit to Conte. Full credit to players like Lukaku, Barella, Lautaro Martinez, all been very, prolific players. Even your defenders like Skriniar, Divraj, they've all been unbelievable, consistent players this year. But yeah, that's all I have to say for the match because, there's not much to say. It was us to lose it. It was you guys were just there to, roll on the ticket and see what could happen. But as for the problem with Juventus, in my opinion, at the moment, Juventus, we've been thinking of the club as a brand race recently, and it's more and more every year it's become more evident that this is the case. From the logo changes to the fans going to, the Milan Juve. I was at that game in 2019 when fans were at the stadium. None of the ultras, were there passionately. They were actually there to protest. None of them chanted. No voice, no drums, no nothing. It was a silent game to go to. And I think it's a reflection of what, the true Juventus fans have their opinions about Agnelli and where he's taking this club. And I don't think there's a big, massive disagreement with what's going on between them. And in my opinion, with Juventus signing Ronaldo, I love Ronaldo. I appreciate for what he's done for us the last 3 years. If it wasn't for him, we would be, not even probably making the top 5, in my opinion. Probably wouldn't be making Europa League. So I think that was a big hit to start to bring Juventus as a brand and not a club anymore. And I think with this Superliga, it's another way where we see that this is an example of where Agnelli wants to bring the club, And I can understand from a business perspective, I come from family of business owners and I understand what it's like. You look to make profits all the time. But when you have a team that's historical, I just find it sad that it's slowly becoming about higher ticket prices, pushing the ultras out of the stadium, buying, big players with big names, but not supporting them, not buying players that can give them the ball, and support them and get them to win, Champions Leagues or so forth. And that's why you see the decline. I think Pirlo being appointed as coach was obviously not great. For me personally, the fact that we did it was for, Juventus fans around the world to go, oh, look, our favourite player for Juventus is coaching us now. Oh, don't worry about the results. Everything's going to be all right because Andrea's there, But it wasn't. It just got worse. I know Sarri lost the locker room, but I think, if you win the league, you deserve another season. He deserved the transfer window because I personally reckon if he stayed, Jorginho would be at Juventus and so would Emerson. And those are 2 players that Juventus really do need, especially Jorginho.
That's a good call, man.
Which money to
buy Jorginho? That's a good call.
With which money? Well, I'll put it this way: we wouldn't have brought some of the players that we did with Andrea Pirlo. That we would have used.
We didn't buy no one. We didn't buy no one. Apart Kulusevski was bought in January. Chiesa is 5 million. McKinney is 3 million for the loan. Then purchase after. Jorginho, Chelsea won a 50-60 million fork out straight away. We couldn't afford it. We have to be honest. We couldn't afford it.
Something would have been done to make it happen. Jorginho was looking to leave Chelsea. There was a lot of speech of him wanting to leave Chelsea after that season. And once Sarri left Juve, all that talk was finished. It was gone. There was no talk of him coming to Juve or the Serie A after we got rid of Sarri. That's just my opinion. But
I'm just going to butt in for I'm just going to butt in for a sec because I know, Mike, you need to leave soon. So I wanted to, after hearing your opinion, I want to fire a couple of short fire questions at you to keep you going before you leave. Do you sack Pirlo then? Yes or no, bro?
Absolutely. You know, you need to draw a line in the sand and say, you know, what we want and what we think needs to happen for us to get back to where we were. And Pirlo is not the coach. He needs the experience. He needs to learn how to lose first, you know, with a Serie B team or a Serie C team, even send him to the under-23s. But to give him the opportunity just because of his name was wrong in the first place. You've got to prove yourself. And look, the financial aspect of it is different because obviously the reason why we got him is because we're paying two coaches already. We're paying Allegri and Sarri still. So I understand.
No, Allegri no.
Just finished. He just finished playing
Allegri last year.
Oh yeah, well, but we're still paying another coach.
It's like we're paying 7 million for one coach. Yeah.
Yeah, so they didn't want to pay for an extra coach, like a world class coach like Pochettino, for instance. So that's why they chose him. But he has to go, and I think Juventus need to look at not Zidane, not Pochettino. Look at someone like Spalleti, like Inzaghi, coaches that can bring a team up with less than valuable players. You know, no one knew Luis Muriel. Who even thought that he would be close to the top goal scorer of the Serie A? No one would have 4 years ago, even 2 years ago. But because of Gasperini, he makes these players play for him and he brings the best out of them. And that's what we need. We need a coach like that. And they will be a lot cheaper than what we're looking at the moment.
Thank you very much. Very well said, bro. I'm sure Ricardo has similar / differing opinions, and I can't wait to hear them. A couple of other questions before you leave, bro. Does Ronaldo need to leave? Make it really quick, yes or no? You got to free up the wave space, man. You can't get the book screen any other way.
I don't think we should get rid of him, in my opinion. If we make Champions League, he stays. If we don't, he can leave because that's what we want him to. We want him to win the Champions League. That's all I'm saying.
And that goes into my third and final question, bro. What happens this weekend? What position does Juventus finish in this season?
Well, I think Europa League is where we'll be next year. I don't see Inter or Milan or Napoli losing. I see them both winning and knocking us out. And it's good that we play Europa League. We've got too many passengers at our club. I don't want these passengers anymore. I don't want players like Dybala who says he's injured, but no one can diagnose him to see what he's actually got for an injury. Juventus don't need these players more. We need players to play for the shirt.
Michael, big conspiracy, man. Big conspiracy, man. You got a big conspiracy going on.
Oh,
no, I was going to say, you know what it is? It's not conspiracy, man. It's the age gap, bro. Look at you, Ricardo. You're so placid and calm. You've seen it all. You've been through World War 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many years of football?
I went to Serie B, man.
It all, man.
I went to Serie B.
I know, bro. You've been to Champions League finals. I know you've seen it all. It's the age thing. Yeah, but it's all passion either way, bro. It's all passion. And Michael, I know you're conscious of time. I just want to really thank you for joining me on this channel, bro. And I hope it won't be the last time, bro.
Yeah, no worries, Anthony. Thank you for having me on, and I hope we'll speak soon. Thank you.
Good to meet you, Michael.
Bro. Nice to meet you too.
Say hi to all the boys in Melbourne for me, please.
I will. See you later. Take care.
Ciao.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, good stuff. I'm looking forward to this because it's going to be different. It's going to be different to what we just heard. Yeah, you can give your thoughts on the derby for a little bit if you like, Ricardo, but I'm just ready to hand you the mic and talk to me about your thoughts on the modern day state of Juventus, and because I'm sure it will reflect a lot of your thoughts on modern football as well.
Okay, Anthony, I'm saying this just to finish, to pick on what Anthony said, about the conspiracy stuff. I experienced Serie B and was actually, you know, was a World Cup of Germany. You remember? I was in Melbourne. I was Cafe Cucina, was a part owner of the business. My business partner was in. We had a bet. If Italy reached the final, I got a ticket. I went to see the final in Berlin, and after that, for 3 years, I didn't care about soccer because Serie B. That was the highest thing I could see in my life. What I mean? I
Yeah,
saw Italy won 82. My dream was to see Italy win the World Cup. I achieved that in 2006. Honestly, for 2 3 years, with Juventus in Serie B, I watched it, but not with the passion of.
yeah,
I was someone, left the wife, the girlfriend. I was sad but happy in one way. Anyway, going back
I
to the same
understand.
things. Going back of you Inter on Sunday. Honestly, for me, the game was the first half. After the first half finished, the game to me ended because structurally Pirlo put down a good team. Had Kulusevski, there was a surprise, was in the first 11 on Brozovic, so he stopped. The source of Inter playing, and it was a penalty here, penalty there. Both saw on VAR, nothing to say. If that's the VAR's got to do, we got to accept it. Finished 2-1. For me, the game ended there. Second half, I don't know what the referee was, but I don't believe he's a Juventus supporter. Probably you as Inter supporter, I agree. But the red card, the second yellow wasn't a yellow. But
I
going
agree.
11 against 10, how he can favorite us? I can't see that. You explain me how we get a red card and he's helping us. I can't see that. But maybe that's the way I see soccer. Other hand, I don't think it was penalty. The game was just, I think Lautaro goal was a goal. Should
Yeah.
have not stopped that goal. So it's, but I don't think he tried to ferret us. I can't see it giving us 11 against 10 for 35 minutes. Come on, it's you.
Yeah, no, I
Maybe I need
agree. I
another
don't
goal.
think I don't think he favored you. I think all around the referee just had a real big mess of a game where he lost control of it. And if you really want, we could talk about this all night about how the introduction of technology takes the accountability away from the human being on the pitch. They become scared to make decisions because they have the technology to back them up. They don't use it properly, and
Yeah,
everything's a
back
mess
him up
from
all
there.
the time, Anthony. That's the problem. If it's a rule
Mm.
that back him up each time, so the Quadrado was a mistake, then you call him.
Oh,
But the rules say if the referee sees, then you can't call him. You know what I mean?
mm.
It's not fluent. It's not clear. To me, it's not clear as a supporter. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah,
and I make an example. I don't know. You saw Fiorentina Napoli, yeah? You
yeah,
saw
yeah. I
Fiorentina
saw.
Napoli.
I
The,
saw. See.
the the penalty, Abisso,
Yeah.
referee Abisso,
Oh,
penalty,
he's
VAR,
shocking.
Juventus Benevento, Abisso referee, the
So
pool shirt, no VAR, no penalty. I mean,
same thing, exact same thing. Other side of the box.
but same referee. So same Abisso was refereeing both. I don't want to say anything, but that's not the soccer I love. That's not a sub. You can have the banter, you can have the upsetting and stuff, but then if you run, sorry my English, from a bunch of not incompetent or the one that decide who's going to win or not, then it's no competition. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, don't take my what I say wrongly. The
I've
the
got.
referee is the
I've,
problem. The system is the problem. Now going
yeah,
back to Juventus, what I can say, I don't agree with Michael, but he's young, he's passion, he's in their way. Uh, we forgot we got a pandemic, we got a COVID.
yeah,
That never happened in the last 100 years. Everyone, when he talks about soccer and stuff, forgets what happened in the last 2 years. No tickets, no people at the stadium. How a club can sustain that. I mean, it's people at the stadium are talking. You buy ticket, you go watch the game, you buy the merchandise. You just generate money, money, money. That's disappeared. And club like Inter, like Juventus, like Real Madrid, Barcelona, don't just look on our league. Barcelona's got over $1 billion of debts. How
yeah.
they can sustain? Barcelona is 90,000 people in the stadium, man. That's 90,000 people each. One game out, one game in, one game out, one game in. But all the merchandise by the shop, that's a lot of money. Everyone forgets that. What Juventus did, okay, Sarri was a mistake. We did it. We did 1 year. I agree with Michael. Maybe you should have given another year. But you can't sell 7, 8 players. You can't do that. It's just
No,
not
no.
not possible. You go in Matuidi for free. we giving them is a present. Because the other thing is, when a team knows you want to get rid of your team or your players, they're going to put the price down. It's a market. Then we got Pirlo. Okay, I got my personal opinion. Pirlo, probably people will not agree. Agnelli is a smart man. A lot of people don't like him. But go in his shoes 1 second. I got the stadium are closed. I never supporters. I got to put a Pirlo. I got to try with him. You know what I mean? If I tell you, Anthony, in October, if Juventus reach Supercoppa, wins the Coppa Italia, and it gets in the first four, you will be happy with the coach first year? Probably say, not bad. Not bad. Okay? Not bad. Okay, but Pirlo, never coach in his life.
See, yeah.
Then, follow my point. Stadium closed. No supporters. So no one can complain. Agnelli doesn't sit like me and you on social looking what this say, the other say. If the stadium was open with the supporter, Pirlo will not last until December. So end of the day, I'm forking the money, but at the sign. Now, honestly, I think if Pirlo reached the fourth position and the Coppa Italia, he will stay Juventus coach. I know all the Juventus supporters are not gonna like me because Juve is not a team that just gotta do something and then get rid of it. You knew before you appoint Pirlo, it's not gonna be great. You hope so, but you knew it. You follow my discussion. You're not gonna just do 1 year. If you did 1 year, end of the day, if he gets in the first four, all right, he did it. He win the Coppa Italia. Well, it's okay. Can go for this year. I think that's the way it's gonna go. Also because I don't see anyone. I don't see Juventus spending 30 million for Zidane as a coach, and I'm not seeing Allegri coming back to Juventus. I reckon before Milan Cagliari, we probably deserve the Europa League. I don't know. I still think we need to win in Bologna. I don't want to talk about Milan Atalanta because I think Atalanta, for the reason I said before, they will win no problem. 100%.
Yeah, the prize money is a big incentive. People are underestimating that. I don't think a lot of people even know that. And I saw it today when I was reading an article, and you brought it up as well. Thanks for doing that. But
it's a 10 million.
To a club like Atalanta, that's a big difference.
10 million, man. 10 million. It's a player.
Yeah,
they're not gonna drop 10 million. Honestly, I don't think they're gonna drop. I think that 10 million is more important than the Coppa Italia, and also reaching the second position, best time in the history. And there's not. They don't know if they're gonna reach it again, because you know what I mean. Inter is gonna be there. Juventus hopefully next year will be there. Then there's Napoli. Then there is Lazio. Then there's Roma. You know, that's a lot of next year. There's a lot of team could be there. So Atalanta's got. I think they will play the game like it's the final of the Champions Leagues, and but we still need to win in Bologna.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to the 10 people that are in the chat right now. Make sure you drop a like on the video. There is a question from my guest, Ricardo, who's been an awesome guest so far. Bruno, our boy, says, Ricardo, a question for you. Your honest opinion about the Super League and Agnelli not pulling out. What does this mean for the club?
Okay, Super League. I don't think the Super League just started a month ago when they announced it. I think that this was something it's been in the discussion. The UEFA was aware about, FIFA was aware about. All these teams signed for this Super League. You know, they're not me, Anthony, Michael, a couple other boys that will decide one night, let's sign, let's do this, and then tomorrow we announce. This is like top clubs in the world. I think the Super League, maybe the structure was wrong. 15 team, always there. That was wrong. I agree with that. But it's going to happen sooner or later. It's going to happen. Also because you probably, Anthony, I can see you follow probably the way I do. If you read, I read a lot. UEFA can't really go against Milan, Inter, Juve. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Juventus. They can't go there because it's European is a free market. They're free business. You can't stop people trying to do something. You know what I mean? They gotta go to the high jury. I think it would be at the end, would be slapping the hair in the wrist, but eventually will help it. Agnelli follow. Agnelli, I think, is a smart guy. Look where he took Juventus. Look the vision he had when he took the club. We got a stadium. I don't know if you've been to Continassa. Did you? Anthony, probably no. I'm not expecting to go there, but you never know. We might watch Juve Inter together at the stadium one day.
That would be a dream.
They done something amazing. They did a shopping center, they did the medical, they did the museum, they did the shop, they did the stadium, they did the headquarter. Now they're doing the other stadium, the hotel. It's a vision that the English clubs got, some of the German top clubs got. And he's sitting with Perez and Laporta, a smart guy. I don't know. I think we didn't see the hand of the Superliga. I think we didn't send the hand of the Superliga yet. That's my answer to the question.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for that, bro.
So I can ask you one question to you, Anthony.
Yeah, of course.
What do you think of Inter situation?
Inter situation is
past this season.
You mean this season? One that just finished.
From today to September.
I think that from now until the end of the season and the start of next season, we are going to see a decision be made from the club in terms of an injection of funds of capital. I'm not too sure 100% where it will come from. We have had a few rumors. The latest one is the Oak Tree branch. And if this does happen, it means that Steven Zhang is sitting there in hope that football will return to normal. And, as you said, the injection of fans, that's a lot of money to miss out on. Prior to COVID, Inter's liquidity was one of the healthiest in Europe. We were banking on that to get us out of debt. The debt that was still remaining from, the big debt that Eric Torres just started to dig us out of. He dug us out of a little bit, even though we made some horrible bloody transfers along the way, man. I don't need to tell you the amount of money we spent on some of those players. But then Steven Zhang has come in, and all a bit, we have made some stronger signings for less money, albeit with your former director at the helm. He's got a real knack for things in that job. I'll tell you what, he's very, very good at his job. And I do think that if an injection of capital is appropriately gained, then Inter will be able to sustain this media frenzy and this media storm that is going on at the moment. I do think an element of it is true. I've always said that, because Inter is one of many of all clubs that are really struggling at the moment. Really, really struggling. But once those gates open again, it's going to be prime time. It's going to be like hyenas waiting to eat meat, bro. Fans are going to be waiting and chomping at the bit to get back into those stadiums. Okay. And we did what we needed to do on the pitch to be ready for that. We are Campioni d'Italia. We are going to get more fans, more bandwagon fans. Hell, bro, I even say it. Some fans in the world that follow teams in Spain that might not do so well might even come and follow Inter. That's the way the younger generation works. They go and they follow the teams who win. That's just the way it happens.
Yeah, no, Anthony, we got the Ronaldo wagon still on. Hope it goes through. With all the supports, man. There's some shocking people out there.
My goodness.
You see the last news about the Fiji come out last night? There wasn't really a lot of people reported. Only a few people reported on Twitter. They asked for extension.
The extension of 3 to 4 months of salary to move it back a quarter of the year.
Fiji said only one month and no wage cut. That was the Fiji answer. Just to let you know. Just to let you know. And also, if the same point is, Salernitana is on by Lotito, yeah.
Yeah, just
to give you go out of the Inter Juventus band and talk about the health of the Italian soccer. You know what I mean? That's Lotito knew that Salernitana was going to go into Serie A. Okay, now you can't own two clubs. You should already start talking to sell the club. Now he has 1 month to sell the club. Now the Fiji give another 15 days. See, that's bending rules, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not talking Juventus against Inter or Milan against Inter or you against Milan, or this is just purely rules. Lotito has got an office at the Fiji. That's wrong. I'm sorry, that's wrong. But you agree with me? It's wrong.
I agree. Yeah, it's wrong. It's just shady. It's corrupt as hell.
That's a not good look for how you say new supporter want to come and support Italian teams. Maybe jump on the Inter wagon or how they jump on the Ronaldo wagon with Juventus. It's not a good look.
Don't you think this is a big reason? Don't you think this is a big reason why Italian football can't move forward? Do you think other countries are looking at this and knowing this is shady shit?
Main reason. And so the Fiji come out yesterday with the rules they've been told about Ceferin. Ceferin. Now, let's take the Super League out. Ceferin, the president of the UEFA, he can't treat clubs like that. You can't talk with clubs like that. Champions League final, example, moved from Istanbul to Wembley because Johnson told the clubs, let's tell us the full story, kicks the club out of the UEFA League. The Super League say clubs get out because Ceferin get upset, we get the Champions League final. Then Ceferin says, after it's been announced, I need 2,000 guests to come. Johnson answered, they need to do quarantine. No, my guests don't do quarantine. Okay, they don't do quarantine, I'll move it to Porto. Man, what is this? Me and you organizing a bloody Coppa Gelato?
It's ridiculous, man. It's like they're just playing a game, a board game. It's bullshit. It takes the authenticity out of football.
But Ceferin, the president of UEFA, moving the Champions League final like on his own. I don't know, guys. If I honestly don't like this. Maybe because I'm Italian.
Football. It's not football. It's not football.
You know when they're like this. You know when they're like this, yeah. Do you know when the people went to England need to do quarantine for 2 weeks because we're still in the COVID pandemic in Europe?
Yeah.
So if Ceferin said, no, they got to watch the game, they don't need to do quarantine. And they say, well, that's the rules. Okay, I moved the Champions League final again. He moved it to Porto. I mean, what is that? It's an absolute
joke. It's an absolute joke, man. It's ridiculous,
That's the level of the European soccer at the moment. I mean, the UEFA, more than anything.
Yeah, it's the worst I've ever seen. The worst I've ever seen football. In my 28 years, it's the worst I've ever seen football, man. I just want to quickly see if there was any comments that I missed. There was one here. Ragazzi, scusate, vi faccio una domanda cattiva, ma Conte rimane. That says something along the lines, my Italian is not that great, bro, to be honest. But
I understand the question.
If I can ask you a question, does Conte remain? Something like this?
Okay, don't believe what Monblano says.
No, Bennett. I said it this morning, and I think you saw it. There are a few journalists that even the own fans of the club hate, and Monblano is the one for Juventus, yeah?
No, don't trust what Monblano says. That's why. Listen, not 80% he gets right, but the 20% he gets wrong is the biggest one, the bigger fault. Conte, honestly, if I can say something about Inter, I agree with what you're saying. They're not in a good position, Inter. Because, Toir gave a loan, did invest his own money, so the loan, I think need to be repaid. And now they need more money to get through this year. I think 250 million they're trying to get. But they're getting with a high interest, about 12%. That's a high interest for that kind of money, you know what I mean? Because they need a more investor to have a money loan. Because someone invests, you have to give it back. When you know better than me, and if you loan, you need to give it back. Now, honestly, I hope Conte stays because he needs to start what he finishes. But Conte better than me. It's from Lecce.
No, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Don't say that. I don't think I do know him better.
Okay, Conte.
And you know that.
Well, people from Lecce gotta get upset, man. It's the Jew of Italy. It's all about
honestly, you think he's a good coach?
I think it's a good coach if it's a one tournament coach.
Yeah.
One tournament. One thing he does well. Really well. He gets the players motivated, he gets the players on the edge, takes out most of what the player can get, but my only question is how long the player will follow him. Happened to Juventus, happened to Chelsea. I don't know if it will happen to Inter. So he's a Juventus supporter. I hope he stays. So because 3 years where he breaks it or breaks it. I don't think he will go to England. If I can say, he wouldn't, because he doesn't want to go to England. Yeah. Because his family doesn't want to move there. Paris Saint-Germain, they say a rumor that Pochettino might go. In Italy, no one can pay Conte. Germany, Bayern Munich club is taken. Real Madrid doesn't want him. Barcelona, I think Koeman stays. So there's no much choice for Conte to go.
I don't see Conte as tactically moving to Spain. I really don't.
What I'm saying is that if he's going to leave Italy, the only team can get in Italy is Juventus. They will not get it. If
No,
you think
no.
you know, go back
The
to
bridge
England.
with Agnelli is broken. It's broken.
Oh
It's
man,
burnt.
big time.
It's burnt,
So
bro.
I think he will stay at 12
Yeah.
million. If he doesn't want no more money, that's my only issue. Is if he's not gonna ask for more money.
Yeah,
That's
I don't think you ask for more money. My issue is he doesn't get any players, doesn't get any players in this mercato, and he decides to walk. But I really don't think that'll happen
yeah.
anyway. As long as we
Walk,
don't sell.
okay. Anthony walk means doesn't get paid.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. It's nuts. He shouldn't. He wouldn't do that.
so. But also you can do okay. I start the season. I run bad. They fire me. I still get paid. That's content.
That's what he did at Chelsea. Yeah.
Correct. That's content. So that's what you gotta be worried. I
Yeah,
hope it doesn't happen.
100%.
But I hope it doesn't. But that's where you get be worried with content. I think honestly, talking about Juventus, people will stay coaches Juventus. That's my feeling.
Well, what I said today was that I really think fans are underestimating the economic effect of this COVID. I think this is going to be the slowest mercato player managerial staffing wise. I really think 80% of the rumors that are out just won't happen. I see minimal movement for free transfers, loans with obligations the next season, loans with options the next season. I really don't see much transfer movement. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. No, okay. PSG and Manchester City they will spend like they never spend
These are the
because they got
exception. The
the
exception clubs.
exception because they're sitting in the same bed with UEFA. Qatar get the World Cup and PSG is now the UEFA what it is. I'm not gonna go back to the discussion. I mean the fair play. I think the failure of European football was the fair play, the financial fair play. PSG always went around. City always were around. Now going back to Inter, if I open that's not a bender, it's a serious stuff. You know why Inter can have people coming in because most of the sponsors, I think about 300 million, come from the Chinese sponsors that they don't know who buys. Is their money they gotta come back? You know what I mean? So who's coming to buy Inter wants to know this 300 million sponsor they're coming or not if the Suning goes out. That's why no one is jumping in. When the Qatar and Emirates, they always let the money come in. You know what I mean? And that's talking about the European. That should be not happen. That's why the fair play was a big failure. That's what the Superliga was the option because you know better than me. What is sometimes you go play CSKA Moscow. Who's gonna watch the game? Champions League is from March, from February becomes everyone watch. So they're trying to watch it from September. I think it makes sense, not the format, but it makes sense to have something different. And I think because UEFA did announce it, someone else announced it. That's why they got upset.
Yeah. Quick couple questions for you regarding Juve next season. Do you have to sell Ronaldo to start the economic financial project starting again?
I think Ronaldo after Juve Porto decided to leave Juventus. That's my personal opinion. He decided the night after, he decided he's not going to be a player. And if everyone watch Juventus game like I do, he has his body language changed totally after the game. He's less on the socials. His wife is less on the socials. The card things. It's to me. You watch Juve Inter, yeah. You probably did. When he got substitute, when he was walking out of the pitch, he turned and watched the stadium. Was a goodbye.
Like a goodbye sort of thing.
Yes, yes. I picked that. I don't know if you picked it. So to me, it's going.
Well, I feel the way he walked off and just accepted it. If he was staying at the club, he makes a scene and kicks a bottle on the side and gets upset. The fact that he walked off, it looked a bit placid, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say that the substitute was the right things to do because 11 against 10, Ronaldo is going to run a lot and he got to play the Wednesday Italian Cup. You don't want 36 years running for nothing. You just got to chase the players. That's one point that makes sense to substitute. But I think the way he looked the stadium was like a virtual goodbye to everyone. You know what I mean? That's my. I think Europa League or Champions League, it will go regards. And
what happens
hopefully we get at least 40 million to not go in a loss, and I'm pretty sure someone will pay his wage.
Yeah, definitely. There'll be someone who pays his wage. He'll take a small cut, and I think PSG is probably the most likely option. in my opinion. What is the curious case of Paulo Dybala and what happens there?
I don't think it's worth 17 million. Honestly, I don't think it's that's what he asked for. Juventus offer 12 from 7.5 plus awards. You know,
Bonuses,
if you win, premises. I think it's about 12. I think he maybe the fact that Ronaldo goes, you can pay more. But again, I don't think Dybala is Messi. So I don't think it's the guy that change. It's a hard player to put in a team. He had a problem with Allegri. He had a problem with Sarri. They were coach. Pirlo is a quarter the coach. He has a problem with Pirlo. So I think the best thing is sell him too, and get a couple of good Italian players to make the Italian bond. That's what Juventus is missing at the moment.
Juventus's financial situation at the moment. How many players do you expect them to sign this mercato?
Few. I don't think it's a bad squad. I don't think it's a terrible squad. I think we probably need a couple in the front. Of course, you're getting rid of someone score 40 goals a year. That's you need at least two. And if the Dybala goes, you need probably two, 3 players in front. But that's why I don't know.
I think you should send Marotta back and not spend the rest of the money on him.
Anthony, can you see getting rid of Morata, Ronaldo, and Dybala in one session?
Well, I don't know if you're going to get rid of Dybala. I think you might get rid of 2 of them, but even then, maybe you're right. Maybe you just get rid of Ronaldo because you have Kulusevski, and I think he's a good promise.
Yeah, you'd probably get rid of Ronaldo, trying to sign Dybala if you know you're losing the next year, because that's another failure. You cannot let Dybala sign. So get it 2 players, and I think with 2 players in the midfield and 1 in defense, we probably will be right next year. We'll be right. The Juventus situation, financial situation, end of the day, guys, we got an exo behind. See if Inter had some like Moratti family or someone who's got access to money. Unfortunately, you got a Chinese government that puts a stop on the thing. It's not even a Suning fault. You know what I mean? You're dealing with a country. So Exxon is going to inject money if they need it. So I don't think Juventus seeing problem of falling or. And the thing of the wage postponed. It was done last year. Juventus was the first team that postponed the wages, if you remember, last year in the COVID. And we did it this year. You can see everyone jumping. We don't have the money. They've done the same thing, man. It's just because I think I explained it. The half financial year is until June. So if you postpone the wage in July, it goes on the next balance sheet. So you save money. You know what I mean? It's just a technical thing. It's not because you don't have the money.
Yeah. Well, that's what all this is. It's all technicalities. All the clubs know that once they open the gates, they'll have the money to pay everything. It's just there's a few different variables at the moment. So Inter needs the Chinese government to let up, because if they can open the floodgates again, that would be nice. But I'm not too sure.
That's the hardest thing. I don't think they will go back. See the league failure, the big league failure in China. I don't think they gotta go back, especially because we're in the middle of we're still in the middle, guys. Where everyone forgets is we're in the middle of the pandemic. You probably in Australia don't feel it the way Europe feels it.
I know,
but
we don't.
We are in the middle of it, man. I've been in Italy for 1 year. It's the first time in 25 years actually doing full 12 months in Italy. Man, it's a disaster, guys. It's a disaster. Everyone forgets that. Everyone really. When you talk about soccer, everyone forgets that. We've been watching game with no people in the stadium. It's
eerie. It's eerie, man. It's scary sometimes. Yeah, it's scary.
Scary. It is. I hate it. Definitely it is.
Yeah. Ricardo, we've gone over the hour mark, and it's been a fantastic chat, man. I really want to thank you so much for coming on the Inter Worldwide channel, and I hope you had a good time, and I hope you'll join me again one day, bro.
Anthony, anytime. I really enjoy it, and you're definitely showing what kind of person you are. You're supporting a team, but I can see a lot of similarity in us. One thing is supporting, even if definitely you're younger than me. A lot of things, but you're fair. You're fair in certain points. Bender is a bender, but then when we're gonna talk about serious thing, you need to talk about serious thing. And I like we touch a lot of things about soccer, not just the really Juve Inter. Actually, we didn't go probably into it, But it was a nice discussion. Take me over on the show, and I say hi to all the boys that follow us. And anytime you want me, just give me a buzz.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. For everyone that's still in here, make sure you drop a like on the video before you go. And to everyone that joined the chat, this is always a nice chilled session because, you know, at this time in Australia, pretty much half the world's asleep anyway. But wherever you are in the world, I hope you enjoy watching this back. So from Riccardo and myself, Anthony, Forza Inter, and ciao ragazzi. See you soon.
Ciao ragazzi. Ciao.